I'm so thankful to be here with you and to be moving together. Let's go ahead and start by walking our feet wide, turning the outer edges of our feet closer to straight, inner thighs open, and then we'll start to circle our torso around our legs. Gently press down through the soles of your feet. Feel some of the weight drop into your heels as you circle your torso around. And if you haven't moved at all today, take these really slow, take your time. Keep making sure you're tuning into your breath. And then pause and circle in the other direction. Smooth inhales and exhales. Relax your lower belly. All right, circle your way back up to center, inner thighs open, hands low in front, pinky fingers together, and then we'll open out to the sides. And we'll bring our pinky fingers back together low and open out one more time. Bring your arms a little higher. We'll tap in twice. Tap, reach out this height, tap, reach out a little bit higher. Tap and reach out and tap and reach out and a little bit higher. Tap and open, tap and open. And then we'll start high and we'll go back down. Tap once and tap twice and a little bit lower. Tap once, reach straight out, tap twice, reach out and a little bit lower. Tap in and tap in. And a little bit lower, tap in, and again. All right, we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna do it with cactus arms. So your elbows will be from here. Let's actually do this first. Start with your elbows bent and slowly go up into the air and slowly go back down. Every range of motion slightly uses the muscles differently. So we're taking our time, we're not trying to rush to get down and we're not trying to rush to get up. And sometimes when you slow down, you can even feel more work in certain areas. So let's reach our arms all the way up and just bend them a little bit. Hold, breathing, bend a little bit more. Hold, breathing, bend to 90 degrees. Hold, breathing, bend a little bit more. Bend a little bit more. All the way down by your sides. Let's go slowly up, out a little bit. Hold, and a little bit higher. 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 All right, and bend down. So now with your elbows bent, you're gonna curl in low. And there's a good chance that without rocking back or your shoulder muscles won't let you come in all the way for your body, that's okay. Work where you are. If you can bring it in closer, and open out to the side. Tap twice, hands, maybe elbows, open up a little bit higher. Tap in and open, tap in and open a little bit higher. Tap in and open, tap in and open without the ribs thrusting forward. Check the tilt of the pelvis, check the collapsing of the thighs, one way or the other. A little higher, tap in and open, tap in and open, a little bit higher. Tap in and open, tap in and open. Let's stay high. Tap once and tap twice, a little bit lower. And shoulder height. And a little bit lower. And a little bit lower. Excellent. Reach your arms out, circle them up, Circle them down, walk your feet into hip distance apart. You're away from the back of the chair, just lean back towards the back of the chair. You're going to draw one knee in at a time. If it's comfortable, you can extend your other leg and then tap down. Actually, let's just do one leg at a time. So that way it's a little bit easier transition. So you can either keep if your left knee's in, you can keep your right leg bent or straight, and you're curling in and tapping down. Curling in, tapping down. When you curl in, notice, does your leg always veer in? Does it always veer out? For this first set, we're trying to stay in line with the outer hip and keep our lower leg centered. It's very common that the lower leg tends to go in and curl in. So now we'll go out to the side slightly. Curl out. If you get any cracking or popping on the way up or the way down, just do less range of motion. Curl out and curl out and curl out. And then we'll go across in front, tap down, across in front, and tap down, across in front, and tap, across in front, and tap. Let's switch sides. Bend your right knee, extend your left leg long, or you can keep your left knee bent. You can still do the same work with the right leg. Straight in. Letting your breath flow, relaxing your belly. And then we'll take it out to the side a little bit. And we'll take it across in front. All right, and then bend both knees, press into your feet to help rotate your torso up. And then from here, stretch your legs nice and long, reach your arms by your sides like a wide upside down V, and circle your arms up into a V and back down wide. Ribs stay relaxed down and back. Breathing here. All right, arms come down by your sides and straight up and down. And when I remind you and say breathing, it's not that you're not slightly breathing, but it's very common that as we do different movements that we subtly hold our breath. So try not to hold your breath. All right, hands to your thighs, keeping your hands a little narrower than shoulder distance. And arms go up and tap down. Try to relax any excessive clenching around your neck and shoulder muscles. And then bring the palms of your hands all the way together and go up and down. Breathing here. Smooth inhales and exhales. All right, and then from there, just straighten your legs all the way, fold forward over your legs. If you tend to clench, relax any clenching around your hips, your thighs, your buttocks muscles. All right, come on back up. So from here, dynamic side bends. Right arm goes up and over, and left arm goes up and over. Palms face away from your body when your arms come down. Feel the sides of your waist, the sides of your rib cage, the sides of your shoulders as you go side to side. Side bend every day throughout your day. All right, stay. Next time your right arm goes over, hold on to your lower arm and pull out a little bit. Reach for your upper arm and pull out a little bit. And you can reach either way. And switch. Left arm goes up and over. First, hold on to your lower arm and gently tug on that. And then reach for your upper arm and gently pull on that. And then release that arm down. Let's point. Try to touch as many of your toes to the floor as you can. And flex your right ankle. Point. And flex your left ankle. Point. And flex. Point. And flex. Point. And flex. Point. And flex. Now try to keep your thighs and your knees steady and just twist your ankles side to side. We want everything to move together, but we also want all of our parts to move separately from each other. So inner arches press forward with steady legs. Outer edge of the foot goes forward. If this is a very easy movement for you, go a little bit slower as you go side to side. And then pause in the middle and try to spread all 10 of your toes open. How about keeping your toes spreading as you fold forward over your very straight legs again? Keep spreading the toes, keep breathing, and then slowly come back up. And you're gonna point and keep pointing your feet down as you take your right arm out to the right, extend your wrists, fingers point up, reach out, and turn your belly button to the left, but keep extending your arms straight out to the right. So there's a lot going on here. You're reaching out to your right, turning your belly button to the left, but pointing your toes down to the floor. Flip your wrist down as you turn, breathing. And unwind and relax your arm. Now flex your ankles. And don't just put your heels down and your toes up. Actively flex. Actively pull the tops of your feet back towards your shins with straight legs. Reach your left arm out, extend your wrists, fingers up. If your arm always ends up here, bring it a little lower in line with your chest. And as you turn to the right, resist your arms straight out to the left. Keep flexing your ankles. Keep breathing. Keep stretching your fingers long. And then flex your wrist, turning it down. Keep turning your chest over to the left. Keep extending your, or to the right, sorry. Keep extending your arm out to the left. And then unwind and flexing your ankles. Point and fold forward over your legs for a moment. And slowly come up and flex and actively flex. Try to straighten the legs all the way as you fold forward and come on up. Okay, we're gonna use one block. And of course, if you don't have a block, you could use stacks of books, stacks of towels to change up the height slightly. It's okay if you do this and your legs at the same height the whole time. Put the block on the lowest height inside your right foot with your ankles hip distance apart, and flex your ankle and let that right thigh drop open. Key for all of these is tilting your pelvis upright into neutral. Also check your outside leg. Is your ankle under your knee in line with your hip? It's common that we turn out or we walk in. So line up that leg and keep it steady for all of the things we do with the right leg. Interlace your right pinky finger on the bottom, flip your hands inside out, spread your thumbs away from each other and back towards you. As you go up, if you notice your fingers start to slip apart even a little bit, just stay there and breathe. Or you can just find a spot of tension, or you can keep going all the way up. Right there is really good for me. Breathing. And then wherever you are, slowly bring your hands back down and hinge forward and fold forward any amount, letting that right thigh drop open. If you tend to clench, relaxing, clenching all around the hips, all around the thighs, and slowly come up. Okay, foot comes down, block goes to the second highest height, outer edge of the foot up, knee drops open, tilt your pelvis upright, and twist your belly button to your right. Feel the waist turn, breathing here. Nice rib rib breath, like taking a rib breath, breathing into the sides and the backs of the ribs and exhaling is always really nice in a twist because there's a little bit more resistance in the muscles between your ribs. And unwind and hinge forward from your hips here. And slowly come up. Okay, turn that block to the highest height, putting the foot up, knee drops open, and then we'll do what we started with some of these torso rolls around our hips and thighs as we keep our left leg steady and our right knee dropping open to the right. Pause and circle in the other direction. And then next time you're kind of centered and forward, try to untuck your pelvis a little bit more and breathing here. Okay, come on up. You can stay at this height, you can do any of the lower heights, or you can take your ankle and cross it over your knee. Do try to untuck your pelvis, keep that bottom leg stable, ankle right under your knee. And then from here, let's do heel raises, lifting and lowering your left heel. Try to press very equally through the ball of your foot, not across the board, but it's very common that when people's heels go up, they slightly twist out to the side. Very subtle, but if that happens, that's happening like every time you're walking up and down stairs, every time you're walking up and down hills. And so you're just trying to retrain to press more equally through the balls of your foot. Lifting straight up and down, tilting the pelvis upright. And then next time your heel comes down, hinge forward from your hips. And slowly come up and uncross. And then we'll put the block on the lowest height inside your left foot, edge of the foot up, knee drops open, sit up nice and tall. Interlace left pinky finger on the bottom, press away low. This time focus also on your thumbs spreading out and back towards you as you slowly go up with your hands. If you find a point of tension, it might not be in your hands, like you might hit something, like I felt something in my shoulder right there. So I'm gonna stay right there and relax and breathe. You can go up higher, you can go all the way up overhead. Wherever you are, press away and slowly come back down and then hinge forward from your hips. Let that thigh drop open. Relax your lower belly. And come on up. And we'll put the block on the second highest height with your ankles hip distance. Put the left foot back up, sit up nice and tall, and twist your belly button to your left. And hold. Ears slide back over the shoulders, ribs relax down and back, pelvis tilts upright. Great time to do a few rib breaths. And unwind and rotate forward from your pelvis. It takes time, but over time, the more you do angles, the more you'll appreciate, your body will appreciate, because you'll just start feeling how, oh, when I always go to end range of motion, like when I always cross my ankle over my knee, when you start doing all these other angles, you'll feel like I don't get into all these little muscles in the same way. It really hits things differently. And it's very, I don't know what word I'm looking for. It's very soothing in a way to get other little areas. All right, come on up, flip that block to the highest height. Ankle flex, knee dropping open, and circle your torso around. circle in the other direction. Feeling all around your buttocks muscles, all around the top of your thigh. And then next time you kind of circle forward and center, stay. And come back up and maybe stay any height. Cross your ankle over your knee. Sit up nice and tall and lift and lower your bottom heel. Press equally through the ball of the foot, that area right below your toes. Try not to let your pelvis rock back when your heel lifts up. And then hinge forward next time your heel is down. It's nice to take rib breaths when you're in a twist, but it's really actually nice to take breaths all around your rib cage all the time. All right, come on up, uncross, spin yourself around to the right. Slide your knee back so it's right under your hip. Reach your left arm out to the side, reach it across the body, palm up, and open out to your side. So I'm not gonna guide you here, but every time you reach across, you can do a little bit higher, you can do a little bit lower. So keep changing up the height of reaching across, and if you find a particular angle where you're like, ooh, I can feel that in my chest muscles or my upper back, and it feels like you want to do more of that angle, then do a couple more of that angle. Open up through the palm of the hand, letting the breath flow. And then next time your arm is out, let your arm come down and hinge back, leaning back a little, and come upright. Lean back, pause, relax any deep clenching, and upright. And lean back, and upright, and lean back, and upright. And then from there, slide that leg forward, spin around to the other side, slide your knee back under your hip, reach your right arm out, and you're reaching across, and every time slightly changing the angle. All right, from there, relax your arm, lean back a little, and upright. Knee stays right under the hip. Lean back, and upright. Lean back, and upright, and lean back, and upright. And then slide that leg forward, spin back around to the front of the chair, sit up nice and tall in your hips. Reach your arms out to the sides, focus on your belly button as you turn your belly button to the right and turn your belly button to the left. You can rest your arms at any time. Belly button twists to the right, belly button turns to the left, belly button to the right, belly button to the left, turning to the right, turning to the left, back to center, cactus arms. Rotate down and rotate up. Rotate down and up. Rotate down and up. Rotate down and up. Rotate down, hold. Twist your belly button to the right. Twist your belly button to the left. Back to center. Rotate up, hold. Belly button to the right. And belly button to the left. back to center, hold. Rotate your forearms. Try to keep your upper arm bones steady so they're not moving forward or back too much or up and down. And turn your forearms as much in one direction and as much in the other direction as you can. And then rotate your forearms all the way one way, hold. Turn your belly button one direction and turn your belly button in the other direction. Back to center, rotate your arm bones all the way the other way and turn to the right and turn to the left. Come back to center, reach your arms into that wide V and clap and open and clap and open, clap together and open, clap together and open. Arms nice and wide, belly button turns to the right and belly button turns to the left. Back to center, tilt the pelvis a little more into neutral, ribs relax down, arms straight up. Twist the belly to the right, twist the belly to the left. Back to center, hands a little closer. Belly turns to the right, belly turns to the left. Back to center, hands maybe all the way together. Belly button turns to the right and belly button turns to the left. Back to center, relax your arms down with bent knees, fold over your hands or your elbows, or you can fold all the way down. If you tend to get lightheaded, probably keep your neck straight. Otherwise, you can drop your head all the way down, relax the back of your neck, tune into your breath, and then push down through your feet to come up and spin around to your right. Slide your left knee back for a lunge. From here, we'll hinge back a little bit and hold. Holding, relaxing, clenching, breathing. If you clench, relax, clenching over and over and over again. Upright. How about ankle flips from the top of your foot to tucking your toes under and reaching back through your heel. Top of the foot to tucking your toes under. Top of the foot and tucking your toes under, and top of the foot and tucking your toes under. All right, from here, let's keep your top of the foot down unless that's really uncomfortable for you. Hold, tip your left ear over to your left shoulder and slowly nod your head yes. You can't look towards your screen unless your screen is in front of you. Breathing, lift your head up, tilt your opposite ear to your opposite shoulder, and nod your head yes here. Softening the side of the neck, your jaw down into your shoulder muscles. Bring your head up, tuck your toes under as much as you can. Turn and look over your left shoulder and nod your head yes here. And turn and look over your opposite shoulder and nod your head yes here. Gently pressing down through your toes, trying to feel all 5 of your toes on your mat or your floor. Bring your head back to center, slide that leg forward, spin around to the other side, slide your knee back, lean back for a moment. Stay, knee right under the hip, relaxing any clenching deep in the groin area, lower belly area, around the hips and thighs. I have to keep relaxing, clenching over and over again. Breathing. And bring your torso upright and flip your ankle. Top of the foot to toes tucked under. Back and forth. Okay, let's stay on the top of the foot. If you notice if your foot rolls to one side, try to center and then drop one ear to one shoulder and nod your head yes here. And bring your head up and over to your other shoulder and nod your head yes here, trying to relax your shoulders as much as possible. Relax any clenching around your hips and thighs as well. And bring your head up and tuck your toes under and turn and look over one shoulder and nod your head yes here. Stable feet. And turn and look over your other shoulder And nod your head yes here. All right, bring your head back, slide your leg forward, go all the way over to the other side and slide your outside leg forward. So several things you're gonna work on. You're gonna work on keeping your ankle flexed as long as that's not uncomfortable, or if your knee really wants to bend or your spine really wants to round, maybe let your ankle relax. But one is ankle, the other is really straight leg, and the third is instead of folding from your spine, try to rotate from your pelvis a little bit more. So your spine doesn't necessarily even fold forward. You're trying to rotate from your pelvis and hold. And we're gonna hold for about a minute. So you're just gonna stay and breathe, keep working on the rotation of your pelvis, the straightening of your leg, the flexing of your ankle. I've been trying to add in, last week I did like 3 things, we held a little longer. Today it's just gonna be 1. But it's definitely good to stay with certain shapes and breathe. And be present with your body. The greatest present of all. And if you've been working with me a long time, you can notice subtleties, like does your ankle twist one way? Does your knee just really softly want to bend? And let's switch sides. So bring that leg back, spin around to the other side, extend your outside leg, and focus on the tilt of the pelvis, the straightening of the thigh bone, and the flexing of the ankle or the straightening of the knee without force. It really depends on the person, the body, what you use your body for, but it really changes over time. If you do this consistently, some people will flex their ankle and be like, ooh, I feel it on my calf. Some people just feel it on the back of the leg. Over time, you might feel it more in your buttocks. You might feel it going up the side of your hip. So as your body changes, where you feel the sensation more will definitely change over time. And then sometimes it becomes a little bit more even all the way through. All right, come on up and slide that leg back. Spin back around to the front of your chair. And from the front of your chair, we're gonna do a top of the foot stretch. From the side, it looks like this. If your ankle tends to roll to one side or the other, try to center, but you're tucking one foot under. If you need to come out sooner, come out sooner. It's nice if there's cushion or padding under there. And then reach your arms straight ahead and pull your elbows straight back. As your elbows go back, try not to push your chest forward. We're not trying to push our chest forward. We're not trying to squeeze our shoulder blades together. We're just reaching forward and pulling straight back. And reach forward and pull back and reach forward and pull straight back. Now reach slightly in front but at an angle and pull in towards the sides of your body and reach out and pull in, reach out and in, reach out and in. Now pinky fingers together and elbows go out to the side. Pinky fingers together, elbows go out. Pinky fingers together and elbows out, and pinky fingers together and elbows out. And then relax your arms down and switch feet. Try not to rock your ankle to one side or the other. Reach your arms out, pull back and extend. Pull straight back and reach out. Pull straight back, extend and pull back. And now we'll do slightly out angles into the body. And then we'll do fingers tap and out to the sides. All right, reach your arms out, circle them out, down, and bring your foot forward. Ankles under your knees. Watch your thighs collapsing in or out. Push down as soon as you get up. Back your hips up to press up to stand. Come around to the back of your chair. Walk back, lining up your outer edges of your feet a little closer to straight, ankles closer to hip distance. Back your hips up. How about just rolling to the outer edges of your foot, to the inner edges of your foot. Go nice and slow with 2 straight legs. Really take your time so you can feel any particular angles that don't feel good on your joints or that do feel good on your joints. Breathing. And if you find a particular angle, stay there. See if you can straighten the legs anymore. If you have extra tension, they'll keep pulling your knees into a slight bend. Back your weight up into your heels a little bit more. And then come on up to stand. Okay, balance begins with what you're doing with 2 legs on the ground. If you have a big turnout, turn your feet in a little. If you have a little turnout, turn the outer edges of your feet very straight. It will feel crooked at first. Also, ankles more hip distance apart, those 2 bones that stick out the front of your hip and thigh, right above your hip and thigh crease. That's your hip distance. If your feet are always closer, you're using muscles differently than if your feet are always farther apart. All movement are good movements, but we want to come back to neutral more often. Push down through your right hip. If it tends to pop out, hug it in. As you flex your left ankle to balance, put that foot down. Push down through your left hip, hug in a little bit as you flex your right ankle and lower down. And you're just going from side to side here, me not paying attention to what I'm doing. And then once you feel like you've got it, maybe try to hold a little bit longer. Weight back in the heels, hip shifting back over the heels. And breathing. All right, grab whatever you're using for a calf stretch, a rolled up towel, a dome. I have a block today. Put your foot up, pigeon toe your foot, your outside foot, turn your hips to square. You can keep your outside foot back. You can step it forward a little. If you lose balance, then just step it back. If you start to feel it in your joints, behind your ankle, your knee, don't go so far into the stretch. Staying here, circle your arms up and down. Reach out through your upper back and chest muscles, tuning into your breath. And sometimes your body will surprise you. Like, for instance, I can step my foot quite a bit more forward, but as I stay longer with my foot back, I'm like, oh, I can really feel this. Like I'm getting into, again, areas that I don't pay attention to as much. So don't always be in a rush to step your foot forward. Really mix up those angles. All right, turn your ankle out to the side, square your hips to face straight ahead. You can step your outside foot forward or back in different degrees. Find one, hold, and then reach your arms out to the sides, and we'll reach our right arm across and open, and our left arm across. Chest tight, breathing. Definitely a little tighter for me on one side than the other. You can even see, if you pay a close attention, this arm can stay straighter and this elbow wants to bend a little bit more. And I can feel I'm tighter across, that's my right shoulder blade today for whatever reason. All right, let's go back to outer edge of your foot straight. Maybe you step your outside foot forward. How about rotating your foot here a little bit side to side, just like we did when we first stood up. Like roll a little to the outer edge of your foot, a little to the inner edge of your foot. It's a very small motion, 2 straight legs. And then let's switch feet. So we'll start pigeon-toed, toes slightly turned in, squaring your hips. You can keep your outside foot back or forward. I'm going to keep mine back a little bit this time, and circle your arms up and down. Breathing. I love when I find different spots in my body. Spots that I know I haven't been giving a lot of attention to. Okay, turn your foot slightly out to the side. You can step your foot back or forward. Hold there, arms out to the side, and reach across. All right, from there, turn your foot to straight, maybe outside footsteps forward or back, a little bit to a lot, as long as your heel stays down, and roll a little bit to the outer edge of the foot, a little bit to the inner edge of the foot. Very small motion, feeling the transition across your calf muscles. And if you find a particular angle that you'd like to stay in, feel free to stay there. All right, and then step off of there. With feet closer to straight, ankles closer to hip distance, you can rotate your thigh bones into neutral. Just do a little forward fold, rotating the thigh bones into neutral, trying to rotate from the pelvis, keeping the natural curves of the spine. Rotate a little more from the pelvis. Rotate a little more work in the legs, relaxing the lower belly. Keeping the ribs up if you tend to thrust, natural curve of the spine, rotating a little bit more, breathing here, and then sit back into your chair pose. From there, keeping your shoulders a little bit above your hips, step your right leg back into a lunge, center the ball of your foot, left knee stays grounded right over your ankle, and lift up and lower down slowly, and lift up any amount, and lower down slow, and lift up, and down, and lift up, and down, and lift up, and push off that foot, sit back into your chair squat, step your left leg back, center the ball of your foot, right knee stays over right ankle, and we'll lift up, and lower down, and lift up. Try to feel the entire ball of your foot making contact with whatever you're standing on. And one more lift up and lower down. And then lift up, push into the ball of that foot and step your foot up. And from here, we're gonna hinge forward into a half forward fold and shift your hips from right to left without a rush. You can rotate your thigh bones into neutral, hips go to the right, hips go to the left, back to center, walk your feet open to 2. We'll do 2, 3, and 4. Hip shift to the right, hip shift to the left. 2 straight legs, hips to the right, and hips to the left. Back to center, walk your feet open to 3, back your hips up, hip shift to the right, and straight over to the left. And hip shift to the right, upper body steady, and straight over to the left. And back to center and walk your feet a little wider, outer edges of feet straight, hip shift to the right, and hip shift to the left, and hip shift to the right, and hip shift to the left. And then from there, come back to center. You're in a nice wide stance. Step your right toes, turn your right toes out, bend into your knee, Warrior 2 pose. Push long through your back leg, steer the center of your front knee over your ankle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Keep paying attention to your legs. And then come up as you slowly straighten your right leg and tip over into a triangle pose. Breathing here. Slowly bend your right knee, hand or elbow to your knee. As you reach your top arm up, you can reach it any angle that you'd like. Every angle hits differently. So maybe explore and then stay and pull yourself up. Turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out. Bend into your knee, steer it over the center of your ankle, palms flip up, warrior two pose. Breathing here. And reverse, lift that left arm up into the air. Feel a little bit more of your weight drop into your heels. The front of the foot is active, but you're not shifting your weight forward to the front of your foot. Slowly straighten your leg and tip over into a triangle position. Breathing here, feel the weight drop into your heels. And then bend your knee, hand or elbow to your leg. You can play with different angles of your arm or just stay and reach up and pull yourself up and turn your footed. You're in this wide stance, outer edges of feet straight, squat down. Try to drop your hips a little lower and slide your hips back without doing this. So can you keep your shoulders a little higher, back up, press through the soles of your feet to come up. From here, right arm goes up and over side bend, and left arm goes up and over side bend. And then that arm comes down, walk your feet into three, and sit your hips back. Maybe drop your hips a little lower. Watch if your thighs collapse in or out. Back your hips up to come up. Open your arms out, twist your belly one direction, but for this one, try not to turn your hips. So keep your hips facing straight ahead, just turn from your waist up, and then turn to the other side from your waist up. And unwind. Walk your feet in to two. Sit your hips back, not quite hip distance apart. Can your hips drop a little lower? Slide back. The weight in the heels might feel like the front of the feet are lifting up. Gently press down. Push your hips back to come up. And then with your feet hip distance apart, I forgot what I was going to do next with that. Oh yeah, feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Slide your ribs from side to side. Breathing. So as you know, I've been doing this for a long time. I still write my classes down every week. This isn't the first time I've taught this class, and then I still forget because I'm teaching multiple different classes to different groups a week, and then I'm having private clients that are doing sometimes something different on top of that. And my philosophy is kind of like something I read about Einstein at one point, that he didn't even remember his own phone number. Because he was trying to keep his mind open for other things. So instead of trying to memorize things, I just let it be there so that my mind can be free, even just to focus more on my breathing and the awareness of my body as I slide my rib cage side to side. Okay, walk your feet into one, which is hip distance apart, and sit your hips back. Try to drop them a little lower, slide those shins back. Breathing, push into the feet equally to press up to stand. And then from here, let's reach our arms in front of us, pull straight back and reach out. Pull straight back and reach out. Pull straight back and extend, and pull straight back and extend. Open your arms slightly, pull into the sides of your body and out. Pull in and out, pull in and out, pull in and out. Pinky fingers together, elbows go out and pinky fingers together. Elbows out and pinky fingers together. Elbows out and pinky fingers together. Elbows out and pinky fingers together. Open your arms up, lower your hands down. Push down through your right hip, hug it in. Left heel comes in. Back the thigh bone of the standing leg up. You can also back the thigh bone of the opposite leg up to your hanging leg. At your own pace, go side to side. And some days we hold these poses, but today we're just going to move through some of these balancing poses. Maybe next week we'll hold all of these variations. One more each side. And then we'll sit back into a chair pose. Extend your right leg long, hips push back. Bend the foot at chair pose. Left leg long, hips push back. And bend in. Right leg long, hips push back. And bend in. Left leg long, hips push back. And bend in. Feet closer to street, ankles closer to hip distance. Right ankle crosses over, sit your hips back and uncross. Ankles hip distance, left ankle crosses over, sit your hips back and uncross. Right ankle crosses over, sit back and uncross. Left ankle crosses over, sit back. Always checking the feet, always checking the distance of the legs. And uncross. All right, from there, let's stand sideways to the chair. Whichever hip is closest, push down through that hip, turn your opposite foot out, and like you're sliding into a tree pose and sliding back down, tap. Sliding up and tap down. Keep pressing down through your standing leg hip, slide up and tap down. And slide up and you tap down. You can rest your heel on your ankle. You can walk it up. I don't care if you rest it on your leg, just don't push into the side of your knee. You can reach one arm into the air. You can reach both arms into the air, breathing here, and arms come down and leg comes down, and either just turn around and listen or switch the side of your chair. Whichever hip is closest to the chair, you're working on that pelvic listing, the top part of the pelvic list where you're pressing down. Turn your opposite toes out and slide up, tap down, slide up, and tap down. So since I'm tighter on this side, when I go up, my hip wants to turn open. Be aware of that on your body. Maybe don't lift the leg so high. Slide up, tap down, and slide up, tap down. You can rest your heel. You can walk up higher. You can walk up higher. Square your hips. Open your inner thigh. Maybe one arm reaches into the air. Maybe both arms reach into the air. Breathing here. And lower your hands and lower your foot. And then face the back of your chair. You can do both feet at the same time with a rolled up towel. You can do one block, just kind of let your feet hang off the sides a little bit, or you can do two blocks with balls of the feet up and heels down, and then just back your hips up here. Two straight legs, breathing. Smooth inhales and exhales. Relaxing any clenching around your hips and your thigh muscles. And come on up and walk around to the front of your chair. And watch the position of your ankles and your feet. And as I've said a million times, if you take my classes, it's not like we're trying to be robots and always sit with our feet straight and our ankles hip distance apart, but you'd be surprised how many people have something like this going on where every time they sit down and they always do it the same way. So we're just trying to come back to neutral, and then from there, the sky's the limit. Okay, sitting down in your chair, let's go to where we began and circle our torso around. A few circles in one direction and a few circles in the other direction. Breathing. And then back to center, hands to your breastbone, pull down on the skin, lift your chin up. You can push your bottom jaw forward. You can stay centered. You can move your chin around a little bit with your chin in the air. Breathing. And then relax your chin down, sitting up nice and tall. You can just have your feet like a little wider, a little wider, a little closer, anywhere in, from hip distance on. Sit up nice and tall, reach your right arm out to the right, extend your wrist, and nice and slowly drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Make sure your hand is more chest height than shoulder height, and slowly nod your head yes. And then bring your head back to center, flip your palm up. As your head comes up, your arm goes up, turn and look over your left shoulder and nod your head yes here. And come back to center and switch. Left arm out, extending your wrist, right ear to right shoulder, and nod your head yes here. Notice if you're always in a rush, go slower. If you're always going super slow, sometimes you can speed up a little, but don't speed up too quick, too fast. And then bring your palm up, head up, arm comes up, turn and look over your right shoulder, and nod your head yes there. And bring your head back and bring your arm down. Reach your right hand straight ahead, flip your wrist down, pull back on the back of your hand. If you're able to, you can rotate your arm bone here, keeping your hand steady. You might even find a particular angle that feels good to stay at, and then you can bend and straighten your elbow a little bit. And switch, palm face down, wrist in extension, pull back gently, maybe rotating your arm bone here. And you can just stay in any rotation. If your arm doesn't rotate, that's okay. You're just pulling back on your hand, and you can do a little bending and straightening of your elbow here. And then from there, release. Stretch your legs nice and long and hinge forward over your hips. Let your breath flow. Maybe rotate your pelvis a little more, maybe straighten your legs a little more, maybe flex your ankles a little bit more. And then come up to sit and scoot all the way back in your chair and let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. And become very present with your body and with your breath. The most challenging part is the mind that loves to wander away, except the nature of the mind is that it wanders away, and keep bringing your awareness back to your body, to your breath. staying present with your body and with your breath. Nourish the seeds. Seeds hold potential for new life within their small structures. But without the proper nourishment, the right amount of light, water, and nutrients, a seed will not yield life. Focus on something you would like to accomplish, a creative idea, a personal project, perhaps even a health goal, and consider what kind of resources and support you need to succeed. Then commit to seeking those things as you remind yourself, I will nourish what I want to see grow. I will nourish what I want to see grow. Bringing our hands together at heart center in gratitude for light, water, and nutrients. In gratitude for this day. Namaste.